Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Katina Tomassello. I am a sales manager with Avinode, and today I will be talking about the state of the US market. I will be covering some trends on what's happened with charter lately, what's happened with movements in aircraft, some changes in the US and comparing it to Europe as well. And I will, of course, touch on the data that we have in Avinode as well. So taking a look at the S&P Luxury Goods Index, we can see that since 2016, the economy has been growing. So just for you to have an idea, in the US, we have 62% of private aircraft, where in Europe, they have 12% of private aircraft. So we can compare those two. We actually see those numbers in Avinode as well. So basically, we have more aircraft based in the US than in Europe in our marketplace. Then taking a look at what's been happening lately, there is some uncertainty, mainly because of some trade deals going on. There is also the ADSB upgrade that has to be completed by January, so let's see what's going to happen in that sense. And also, there has been a slowdown. If we take a look at Europe, lately, there are some trade wars in Asia as well. So basically, a lot of issues going on around the world that influence the charter industry as well. So now let's take a look at US and Canada movements in charter. So these are year-over-year data. And as we can see, we're taking a look at charter, which is 135. We're taking a look at 91, and we are taking a look at fractional. And we can see a big increase in the fractional sector. And we can see a decrease in charter year over year. So if we see September 2018, that big decrease was because of Irma that happened in September 2017. But it's interesting to see that since July, it has been going up again, so that we can see that charter is been picking up. And we can also see that data in Avinode as well. So in the European market, it's easier to see the seasonality. So you can see the ups and downs around the same months. So it's easier to predict what or forecast what will happen in the future. So 2018 was a great year for Europe, mainly because of the World Cup that happened. So that brought a lot of flights coming in. And then this year, 2019, has been a tougher year in general, I think, for everyone. But July 2019 was the second best month after July 2018 for charter since the Great Recession. That is a very interesting point that I just learned, from taking a look at this data. Now taking a look at the movements in aircraft, in 135 aircraft. There has been a big dip in the mid-size jets. We actually can see that reflected on Avinode as well. But the super mid-size jets and the ultra-long ranges have been increasing and becoming more popular. So light jets have also been decreasing, but taking a look at our data, the aircraft that get most of the requests or are most demanded are the light jet aircraft. So that's something that we just saw. Now, you may ask yourselves, how big is Avinode? Well, taking a look at the global number of requests, last year we received 6.7 million requests globally. And out of those 6.7 million, 1.8 were requested in the US. Then that translates to 5,000 daily requests. And we have 606 broker companies globally. Out of those 600, we have 196 brokers in the US Then we have 771 operators globally, and out of those, 379 are based in the US. Then we have, as I was saying before, we have more aircraft than in Europe. We actually have 60% of the aircraft based in the US and Canada regions. And that translates to almost 2,000 aircraft right now on Avinode. So let's take a look at some of our data that we measure, some of our metrics in terms of response rates, response time. So how fast are operators replying to requests? Are they replying on time? How accurate is their pricing? Those are things that we measure on Avinode, and we translate that and show that on the marketplace so that you have an idea of how they are utilizing the system. So I want to take a look at some of those numbers and comparing them in the two markets. So 79% response rate in the US, and we have 55% response time. That means that operators are replying 55% within 45 minutes. That's what we recommend to be a good response time. Then 57% price accuracy is the average pricing that we have in the US. And what this means is that they are replying to these requests being this accurate. So of course the goal is for them to be 100% accurate, but this is something that we are working with our members to make them price correctly through the system. Again, we have almost 2,000 aircraft in the US, and then 56.4% of our members are using the desktop version, compared to 34.7% using the mobile app in the US. Now in EU, we have a higher response rate, 90% response rate. That means that our users in Europe are basically replying to most of the requests online through Avinode. Then 68% response time, so pretty quick as well. 42% price accuracy, which is actually lower than in the US. And I'm thinking, they're getting all of these requests, replying on time. That could be also, they may just be, replying and not changing the pricing, or changing it, or adjusting it too much, and that will translate to not being as accurate in pricing. They have 1,055 aircraft. 36.2 of our members over there are using the desktop, compared to 52.6 using the mobile app. So they prefer, I guess, to use the app. So if you are an operator, you have Avinode, I highly suggest to download the app. It's just, if you're on the go, it's easier to keep track of these requests and chat, with our members. It just makes your life easier sometimes. So let's take a look at what's popular or what's trending. So we took a look at the Avinode requests in the past year, and we saw that these are the most popular airports receiving requests. So the first one is Teterboro, getting most of the requests. Then we have Venice, Opa-locka, Las Vegas, and HPM. Now, which airports have seen big swings lately? We have the three major airports again listed here. So those bubbles represent the amount of requests that they have received. And from what I saw on this data, the only one that actually went down or was negative was Washington Dulles. And then the rest are actually growing. So that's very interesting. But yeah, always Teterboro, Venice, Opa-locka are the big three. Then taking a look at some routing trends on pricing, we can see that the route Venice to LAS with light jets, the pricing has gone up 5% compared to last year. And then if we compare it to the past 3 years, it has increased 11%. Then taking a look at heavy jets for Teterboro to Opa-locka, pretty much stayed flat for the past year, and then it has decreased for the past 3 years. And then the third one is the heavy jets from Teterboro to Van Nuys, pretty much stay flat for the past 3 years. Now, what are the most popular aircraft? We've been talking about mid-sized jets, decreasing, but very interesting to see that some of the older aircraft are still the most popular aircraft, or the ones that are being highly demanded. So the first one is the Hawker 800, and then you can see the Beechjet 400, Learjet 60. So basically, these are the most requested aircraft that we have, looking at Avinode's data. So that's what I got for today. Thank you for listening, and I hope you enjoy the show. Thank you.